Yeah, it's gone.
Good evening. I guess speaker tonight, I've known for pretty many years now. We're actually classmates at Marian. We went on the track team together. We're also stars in the school play together. The speaker graduated, was a 2002 graduate of Marian, then he went off to Misericordia, where he received his master's degree in physical therapy in 2007. He's currently working as a physical therapist. Well, before I bring him up here, it's kind of embarrassing a little bit. And me and actually my dad were talking last night about John, and we were like, remember how bad he was at running? And if he was on this year's team, he would have been by far the worst guy on the team when he was a freshman. And I'm not lying, he was, but I remember him telling me, I think it was in sophomore or junior year, and he lived in Jim Thorpe. And one time he ran from Marian to Jim Thorpe, which in a car takes you about a half an hour. So he was a guy that continually got better. By his senior year, he was one of our best distance runners on the team. So where he started and where he even was as a, by the time he was even done Marian as an athlete, was phenomenal. John also epitomized what being a Marian athlete is all about. He was also top 10 in the class at Marian. Continued to get better as an athlete, and he went on to Misericordia, where he ran on Misericordia's track team for 4 years, cross country team 4 years, indoor track for 4 years. To the point now where he is actually just this year he ran the Boston Marathon. He has a PR in the 5K of 16 minutes. Half marathon, 1:19. So, like I said, this is an individual that epitomizes really what happens to people that graduate from Marian. They go off and they become very successful, and he is the epitome of that. He continues to get himself better, both in his career and as an athlete. This time, like I said, I'd like to bring up not only a very good friend of the Marian track and field team, but one of my best friends from high school, Joe Martino.
Good evening, athletes, coaches, parents, and members of the Marian family. My name is John Martino. I'm a 2002 graduate of Marian Catholic. I'm not a state champion. I never made it to states. I never qualified for districts either. As a runner in high school, I was not a record setter. However, I can stand here tonight and say that I am extremely grateful to Marian Track and Field. The coaches, the program, and the values helped me to continuously improve as a runner and a person every year since entering Marian High School. In 1998, I graduated from St. Joe's Grade School in Jim Thorpe and entered Marian as a freshman. The first week of class, I noticed the flyer for fall conditioning for track distance running with Coach Dorman. I showed up the first day with several other runners, some of whom had some experience and some who were new runners. Coach Dormer sat and talked to us before we started. He held $1 in his hand in the air and stated, "Whoever wants this $1, come up and take it." I sat there confused. Was this some kind of trick or joke? While I questioned his motive, one of my classmates walked up, took the $1, smiled, and walked away. Coach Dormer then stated, "When you see an opportunity in life, You have to take it. After my first day of practice, I headed home and thought about what had happened. I learned the hard way that in order to get the best out of life, I needed to go after opportunities when they came up. As a freshman who struggled to break 7 minutes in the mile, coaches' fall practices were the opportunity to help me become a better runner. As a former U.S. Marine, coaches' never give up and work hard attitude cemented the foundation for my running career and shaped my whole outlook on life. In the fall of that year, we ran the hills of hometown and Quakegate, gradually building up to what seemed like the impossible, a 10-mile continuous run on the track to finish out our fall training. When I struggled to get to around 8 or 9 miles and my dad came to pick me up, Coach Dormer gave me the option to head home if I wanted to. But I knew that the easy way out wasn't what he had taught me, and I finished the 10-mile run. The times I spent with my teammates are among some of the greatest treasured memories of my life. I remember runs to Rita's and what is now Skipper Dippers. I remember a grueling 15-mile run to Locust Lake State Park and back. I remembered pie fights as a celebration of the end of track season. And I remember having goofing around sparring matches with Coach Dormer, an awesome Marine boxer. Teammates like Tom Flamini, Andrew Weber, and John Boyle were like brothers to me that shared the same passion for running. After freshman and sophomore year, Coach Dormer helped me to keep improving my time. We ran the halls of Marian and the stairwells in the winter when we were desperate for somewhere to train. We used weightlifting to help improve our form, and I was able to consistently improve my 1,600 and 3,200 meter times at every meet that year. By senior year, I was good enough to attend the Mount Carmel Invitational and the league meet, coming a long way from struggling freshman. With Coach Paul Coombe and my teammate Coach Boyle, we were able to snap the Tivity's 10-year-long winning streak at their home track in Pottsville. By the time I graduated, I went from a 7-minute mile to a 5:14 mile. I went from a 14-minute 2-mile to an 11:17 2-mile. I was by no means the fastest, but thanks to the positive influence of Marian track, I was better than when I started. Looking back, I realized that there's no better metaphor for life than running. If you consistently work hard and don't give up, sooner or later, good things will happen. After high school, I ran for Misericordia while studying physical therapy. Again, I wasn't number one on the team, but thanks to the never give up attitude I learned from Marian's track program, I consistently improved my times all the way through college and earned a second team conference medal at our conference championship. The hard work philosophy helped me get through several tough years of schooling. I slowly realized that the intense academic work Marian dishes out helps prepare you for college. I felt confident in writing essays, dealing with calculus, and sorting out chemistry, all thanks to Marian's wonderful academics. The idea of never giving up also extends over to my practice as a PT. Many patients at our clinics have a long road of recovery ahead of them, but I never hesitate to encourage them to work hard towards achieving their goals and not throw in the towel until they are back on their feet, just like our coaches taught us. Today, I continue running on my own, competing in amateur road races. The sport has given me countless good memories, wonderful friends that mean the world to me, an excuse to travel, and a hobby that keeps me healthy and active. I have enjoyed many fun and successful races, including 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, and marathons, none of which would have been possible without the solid foundation I got at Marian. One of the more memorable races involves the Dogfish Dash race in Rehoboth, Delaware, at the popular Dogfish Head Brewery. In 2007, I was a mere 15 seconds away from winning the race. I was happy coming in second until I saw that the winner received a hand-carved wooden trophy of the brewery's logo. My heart sank that I had lost, but I knew I wanted to come back the next year and go after the trophy. The Marian track instinct to resist giving up kicked in. After several attempts where I came close, I pushed on and worked hard, taking home the Dogfish Trophy, not once, but twice on 2 separate years. Recently, I also accomplished the dream of running the Boston Marathon, something that I was inspired to do after seeing Coach Dormer run it years ago. When I was a freshman at Marian, I had a hard time breaking 7 minutes for the mile. In Boston this year, I was well under 7 minutes per mile for the entire 26.2 miles of the course. It was a memorable day with my parents, who are both Marian grads, waiting for me at the finish line with my girlfriend and training partner, Marian. Crossing the finish line on Boylston Street, I knew I wouldn't have been there if it hadn't started with the training that Coach Dormer helped me out with years ago. To the athletes in the room tonight, I offer the following pieces of advice. Be thankful. Your coaches and your parents make great sacrifices so that you can get to practice, train hard, and go to meets. They give up a great chunk of their personal time so you can participate in track and field. Let them know you appreciate what they do while you can. As for yourselves, enjoy the time you have now with your teammates. You will all go your separate ways in the future, but no one can take away the good memories you have together. In closing, after Marian, many paths lay open to you. Whether you go on to college, the military, join the workforce, or pursue some other avenue, always remember to never give up. Even when you have a bad race, a bad day at the office, a bad day in school, don't give up, because your hard work, patience, and persistence can turn things around. Marian Track has shown you that well. Just like Coach Dormer taught us years ago as freshmen, go out and grab the opportunities that lead to your dreams. No matter how hard you have to work to get there, it will change your life for the better. Thank you.